All right, for this presentation, we are going to be discussing the required education and training to become a dietitian. Starting with step one, you'll need to earn a bachelor's degree. So the bachelor's degree doesn't have to be in dietetics, but you just want to make sure to review any required prerequisite classes you need to take before applying to other dietetics programs in the future. So you need to obtain your bachelor's degree with the dietetics verification statement. And that verification statement shows that you've completed a didactic program in dietetics or a DPD program. You will need one before applying to master's programs or internships. So you just want to make sure that, regardless of that bachelor's degree, that you have a DPD or a verification statement, and that you've taken the required classes that are needed to apply to dietetics master's programs. Some classes that you might take in your undergraduate programs or degrees are food service systems, management, medical nutrition therapy, chemistry, anatomy and physiology, or community nutrition and education. Step two is to complete a dietetic internship and master's degree. So, we're going to start talking about the dietetic internship, or which is also known as the supervised practice program. Supervised practice just means that you have someone looking over you, kind of watching what you're doing. And these programs must be Ascend accredited. At the bottom of this page, I have what Ascend stands for, which is the Accreditation Council for Education in Nutrition and Dietetics. So within this dietetic internship, it is usually about 1,000 or more hours, and it usually lasts about 1 to 2 years, depending on how often you're doing your rotations. Some of these rotations might be in settings such as hospitals, government programs, large-scale food service systems, big kitchens, community centers. And so the dietetic internship is when you're working alongside a dietitian in their job setting and you kind of see what they do from day to day. Um, so, and these dietitians who you're working with in your internship are called preceptors. So preceptors are dietitians who teach, mentor, and supervise while you do similar tasks to what they would do day to day. For example, you might be seeing patients in a hospital on your own, writing their chart notes, but everything is going to be approved and signed off by your preceptor. But essentially, you're doing what they do from day to day, just with their guidance and supervision. Some programs require you to seek out your desired rotations and dietitians or preceptors who you want to work with in the area, and other internships have predetermined preceptors and locations all ready for you. So it just depends on the program. Again, the length varies and the different rotations vary. Some you might have to find your own preceptors and locations, and some they are all ready for you to go. So just depends on the type of program. And either after or during your internship, you will complete a master's degree. Some programs combine a master's degree and a dietetic internship, and others are separate. So it just depends, but usually master's programs vary from 1 to 3 years. So again, just depends on the program. But these are all things to look into before applying, just with the dietetic internship and master's degree. So lots of things to look into before applying. And another thing to take into account before applying is looking at the types of classes they offer for their programs and the different requirements before applying. Some might have letters of recommendations. Some you might not be interested in their specialization or certain classes that they offer. So it's just really important for you to get all the information that you can before applying to these programs. Step three, after you have completed your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, and your dietetic internship, are to pass the RDN exam. So, after you receive those degrees and you have all of your supervised hours from the internship, you are eligible to take the Registered Dietitian Nutritionist exam. This exam is given by the Commission on Dietetic Registration, which is just the credentialing agency for dietitians. Once you are eligible, you can go online, either the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics or the CDR websites. You can find a location. They have locations all over the nation, and then you pay the fee. Right now, the fee is $250, and that's always subject to change. You can take the exam multiple times. So if you don't pass the first time, you can take it again and again until you do pass. The exam will include topics that you'll learn about in your undergraduate and graduate programs. Some of these topics might include management, clinical nutrition, food service systems, research applications, and the test is um, the test includes anywhere from 125 to 145 questions, just including all of these topics. So it's quite the exam, but again, just thinking about dietitians and their credential, it just kind of indicates that they have gone through a lot of the schooling and training to really become experts in the nutrition field. After passing the RDN exam, you obtain state licensure as a dietitian. So, and this varies from state to state. However, most states do require a separate license than your RDN credential that you get from passing the RDN exam. So, what this means is that whatever state you're living in, or if you're a, social media or virtual dietitian working with clients from states outside of where you live, you might need to apply to those states to be able to treat and care for those patients or clients. So again, it just varies from state to state on the license. But basically what that means is you have your RDN credential after passing the exam, which means you are a registered dietitian officially. However, for example, on the right here, we have the website where you apply for a certified dietitian license in the state of Utah. So after becoming an official dietitian, and if I live in Utah, I'm going to go to this website and apply for a dietitian license. And this just means that um, it protects the dietitian title and allows you to work with individuals living in that state. So most of the time, it just requires you to upload proof of your RDN credential and pay a separate fee, and then you are provided this state license. Um, so yes, most states require that you obtain a license and maintain it while working as a dietitian in that state. So if you ever to move from state to state, it's important that you apply for a different license. And just reinstating that for virtual dietitians with their own private practice, they might need to apply to several different states depending where their clients live. So, just important to make sure that you're up to date on your credential and your license. All right, and last step number 5 is continuing education. So after you've done all these previous steps, you are required to obtain continuing education credits or units. And so the requirement is 75 credits every 5 years to maintain your RDN or dietitian credential. And there are several different ways to obtain these continuing education credits. Some companies who hire dietitians might pay for their dietitians to attend conferences or to present research at these conferences. But some other ways are just attending conferences, participating in online educational videos or online self-study courses, or you can obtain continuing education units by publishing articles in a professional journal. It's important to note that even if there is a period of time where you take a few years off of work from becoming a dietitian, you still need to complete the 75 credits every 5 years to maintain your RDN credential. Otherwise, that is lost and you'll have to go through the process of re-obtaining that. And just a reminder for all the students, we do have a chart that is going to be found underneath this video. And it's just basically a summary on all these different steps on the process of becoming a dietitian, all of the schooling with the bachelor's and master's degree, more information on the dietetic internship, and then the RDN exam, the state licensure, and continuing education. So we kind of have a one-page document and chart for you to either print out or save on your computer just to refer back to as you're going through this process of learning how to become a dietitian and all about the dietetics profession. So this concludes this presentation, and we hope you enjoyed. And just know that this is just kind of a basic overview on the process to become a dietitian. Obviously, there are a lot more details and information that you'll learn further on in your schooling and in college. But just know that there is quite a lot of the education and training needed just to become these nutrition experts that dietitians are. So we hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next module.